believe one of my strongest character traits actually defines who I am. It's reliability. I can't describe it in just one word. It'd have to be dependability, honor, integrity. All those virtues, all those traits combined develop my character to be the ideal person for any job. You can train a person to for keystrokes. You can train a person to do various tasks. But what's difficult to train is something that has to be inherent in everyone, and that's dependability. To have integrity, to have commitment. Those things are tough to come by, and I believe these are the characters that are inherent in me. How I would handle situations that could cause me to be late or tardy is number one rule of thumb. If I'm currently with a client and I'm scheduled to meet with another client, I never try to make it the second appointment directly after the first appointment. I always allow myself time in case conversations go longer than expected, traffic times, unexpected. I always allow myself ample time for in case of emergencies or delays. I also believe in keeping an open line of communication. If I am running late because of a prior commitment or a meeting ran over, then it's important that I keep the person that's expecting me updated on my situation. Hopefully it's not a repetitive situation where my client has been delayed by myself or my company in the past. But I believe the best way to handle a situation, prevent yourself from being tardy, is by utilizing good practices in time management. Well, like most people, I think we've all been in a position where we were expecting to get off of work and we get the phone call that the person that's supposed to relieve you called in sick or is running late. It's one of those situations where you just have to grin and bear it. But you have to understand that easily could have been you. Something unexpected could have happened to you. So having that in mind, you have to chalk it up as part of the job. If someone calls in sick and I was expecting that person to relieve me, as inconvenience as it is, it's one of those things you just grin and bear it, and you go on. You work the extra hours, you work the double shift if needed, and if my replacement called in sick and a substitute's going to take an hour to come in, then I'll work that extra hour. It's a lot better than having to work that double shift, but I'd do that if that was necessary as well. Hopefully the person that called in sick will be reciprocal, and someday will be there for me as I was there for them, and same with the substitute as well. I remember, I think it was one of my first or second jobs I had as a young teenager. I think I was 17 or 18 years old, and I was working in Circuit City. And I was actually selling car stereos at the time. And we were on San Francisco. The neighborhood had its mixed share of foot traffic. We had the suits and we had the casual wearers, and every once in a while we'd get a vagrant wander in, and security would have to deal with them. And I remember seeing an individual not too well kept, ripped jeans, kind of tattered, muddy boots, dirty fingernails, and he was browsing around the car stereo department. I remember just thinking, assuming that this individual was another vagrant or someone that's just what we called back then a looky-loo, just browsing and not probably going to spend any money based on his appearance. So I made the mistake of not being as supportive or attentive to that individual as possible. It turned out that this gentleman was dressed that way because he was working on his company as a construction worker. I think he was the owner of Webcore, which is one of the largest construction companies in the Bay Area, and he ended up purchasing, I believe, 10 car alarms, several car stereos for some of his fleet vans. That individual spent, I think, over $10,000 that day, and the sales associate that helped him, his commission was equal to my paycheck for about maybe 2 months. It's something I'll always remember because that was good money that I passed up, and I had the opportunity to have been that sales associate, but I passed him up because I judged that person by his appearance. I remember it because I'll never forget it, and it's helped me become a better person. The old "don't judge a book by its cover" phrase